What's up, everybody? This is Trey and Johnny's Comic Book Show. This is
Trey.
I'm Johnny, and it's going down today.
It's going down today. It's all about Civil War, and we've got a plethora of guests with us today. Gentlemen, please introduce yourselves. Coming back to the show.
What's up, I'm JP.
Hey, it's Sally.
Oscar back at it again with Team Iron Man and to talk about possibly the greatest comic book movie ever on screen.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so, I mean, the general consensus is that we liked it. Ellie liked it.
I did like it.
I loved it.
I haven't met anybody who hasn't liked it.
That, except for your DC fanboys, which I understand. There's still some hate.
They're mad.
Yes, they are mad. I mean,
It's just saltiness.
yeah,
That's all
you know
it is.
what? It's not even hate. They're envious of the MCU, how well they're constructing their movies instead of rushing. I'm not going to name this movie. Rushing all these characters.
The movie who shall not be named.
Yeah, that shall not be named. Yet they introduced all these characters, but into little 15-second clips. But we're not talking about that right now. We're going to talk about Civil War.
Well, I'll say this. All right, this movie leaves me excited for whatever comes after next. So, you know, that's what you want from your moviegoer. You know, you want them to be excited. And Justice League just didn't. I mean, not Justice League. Batman vs Superman really, it put more doubt than excitement.
Yeah, it does not get me excited.
Very true. Very true.
So it's like you proceed with caution for Justice League the movie. You know what I'm
I
saying?
like that. I might have to make a
I'm
poster
trying
of
to be
that.
I'm trying to
Proceed with caution. I like that. I might have to buy those shirts. That's good.
I'm trying to be diplomatic here. You know what I'm saying? Ellie's in the house. I'm trying to be diplomatic. You know, you proceed with caution for the next Justice League joint. But the movie, what did we like about it?
Well,
What was there not to like? That might be a better question.
start off, sir. What were one of your favorite moments of the movie?
He saw it twice already.
I know.
So
Did
break
I
it
see it
down.
twice?
Actually,
Wow.
I actually meant to see it twice
You
as
know
well,
what was
but I didn't have
amazing?
time.
I was trying to see it twice too, because the action, of course, was great.
Yep.
But I wanted to go to the story, to really dig deep into the story. But guess what? The action got me again. Just the action is amazing. You know, they introduced new characters the right way, just perfect. You know, they introduced Black Panther and don't get me with Spider-Man. I mean, Spidey, that
man.
was almost perfect. When I saw him, I felt like I was watching the cartoons growing up. You know, him talking, being funny,
Yes.
and what I love, they made sure he was a kid. Like they knew, they made sure that you know he's a kid. That was, I mean,
Yeah, that's what I
And
like
it wasn't
too.
overwhelming.
exactly. Even with these new characters,
Yeah, like he's just entering high school, which is the way it's supposed to be. He's not, graduating.
No.
That's what I love too.
And-
And like the chemistry between Tony Stark, like them two was just incredible.
It really was. And I have to say that you could tell that it was definitely, a lot of it was CGI'd, but all the fight scenes with Spider-Man in it were, I feel like they were well thought out. They were well executed. They made Spider-Man actually look like Spider-Man. This nigga looked like he was crawling on the glass in the airport terminal,
No,
and
they got
he's
his
jumping all
sarcasm.
around. He's got his
Yeah,
sarcasm.
which is dead on.
They got all parts of his powers down, especially the mechanical webbing.
Yes.
The mechanical,
That was awesome.
biologically synthesized webbing. Yes, like they got Spider-Man on
I
point in
loved
this
how
movie.
powerful he was, because he is very powerful. You know, when
Yeah.
he grabs the metal. I just can talk about this for hours. This movie, I love watching movies. I mean, I've seen every. I mean, I see every. I even saw Hardcore Henry, man. I just
I love
love
Hardcore
movies,
Henry.
and it's actually pretty good. But we're not.
It kind of gave me a headache, but
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. But just the MCU is just getting things right that I don't know. Even with their failures, I thought Iron Man 3 was a huge failure. Huge failure in my opinion, because I love the Iron Man series. That was a failure, but yet they just picked themselves up and just keep on making great movies. Even with Guardians of the Galaxy, I loved. Actually, when I saw that movie, I actually put that as my favorite MCU.
Yeah.
Like I love.
I do have
love
something to
that
say though.
movie.
Like if Iron Man 3 is your qualification for one of the worst MCU movies that there is, Iron Man 3 wasn't a terrible movie.
it wasn't. It wasn't
But
that bad.
a lot of things about the movie made people hate it.
Yeah.
Number one problem,
Mandarin.
the Mandarin.
Yes.
I think the weakest Marvel movie has to be the first Thor joint.
That one really didn't get my attention.
If I base off replay value, that one has the lowest replay value for me.
Interesting.
Because the most action's at the end when he's fighting.
I don't know. The second
the
one,
destroyer,
kind of
the destroyer
armor.
Yeah.
I have to, I could agree with that, but I did like the first Thor movie. I'm not gonna lie.
I liked it, but from a replay value, I think.
Yeah, from replay value, I definitely watch most of everything but Iron Man 2, and because I think Iron Man 2 is the worst one out of the Iron Man.
I don't mind it as much.
I don't like it
as much after the third one.
Yeah, after the Iron Man fan, I kind of like Iron Man 2. You know what I'm saying? Like 3 out of the 3, I think 3 has the least replay value.
It just
I think
has
so.
a lot of
Yeah.
downtime.
And then
That's true.
obviously the first one is the best one,
Hands
and then
down.
second comes. I think in order. You know?
Actually, that's true. It does go in order.
Yeah.
So.
I still think that the first one is the best one.
It is
I
kind of
agree.
curious, though, how that happened with the Iron Man. You can honestly say in progression, if you think of Civil War as almost like an Avengers 3, Avengers 1, 2, and then Civil War progressively got better, whereas Iron Man is progressively getting worse as an independent series.
Well, one
kind of
problem
curious.
was Iron Man 3 wasn't directed by the same director from 1 and 2, which Jon Favreau is probably one
And as
of
we've
my
seen
favorite
from
directors.
the limited goodness of the X-Men franchise, one director can make a difference between X-Men 2 and X-Men 3.
Yeah, very true.
The abortion that is X-Men 3.
Well, it's supposedly Apocalypse to take a jab at it too.
Yeah, that's what that's what they're saying. But we'll
have to come back.
We'll talk about that. Well,
that's a whole other
we
podcast.
Still War,
Let's circle around.
What'd you think, man?
My favorite moment.
We
Yes.
circling
You know what?
around.
So,
We're circling around.
well, okay. So first off, I loved it. I thought it was really great. I think my two favorite moments, probably the introduction of Spider-Man as a kid.
It wasn't through an email.
Yep.
So much better.
Really,
Motherfuckers meet face to face.
Well, you know what?
Oh, boy.
Emails were exchanged, but they were exchanged in a better manner.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
There was, I thought it was really smart in that there wasn't a big development. It's all of a sudden you just jump into it, you recognize the two characters, and then you're right into it. You're right in the mix. They didn't really need to be a whole lot more than what they did. I think other than that, Ant-Man.
Yes.
Stole the show.
Stole the whole fight.
And,
Crap.
and for me, it's Falcon. Falcon to me is still the most underrated dude. Like he was kicking ass in that movie.
He was.
He really was.
He was really bad.
Yeah, when they were in what was it, Nigeria at the beginning of the movie, dog? He was badass.
Yeah.
Dude, when he used his shield.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He was,
sick.
he was using his guns and everything.
Yeah.
I, like him in this movie and in Winter Soldier, highly underrated.
Yeah,
both movies.
When he's holding his wing to block and he's like shooting.
Yeah,
that was so
and I'm like,
awesome,
yo,
man.
why doesn't he get his own movie? Like, whole time, like, he, like...
Well, shit,
him
you
and-
see Black Widow been in how many Marvel movies now?
like,
and now they're just talking about giving her
Yeah,
a
about her solo.
Yeah, but, like, I think even though she's been around for a while, like, okay...
She's been in 2 Iron Man movies, all three Avengers movies, or all 2 Avengers movies,
Captain America.
all of the Captain America movies. Like she been in all of that shit. So like,
She's been around, man.
she gonna be the only one left in the original that don't have his own movie. Gonna be Hawkeye.
I guess you could do her origin story, maybe.
Well,
I don't know. Like
the
a
problem that
flashback.
you run into is I mean, and you're seeing that right now with Captain America, was the fact that essentially it is an Avengers movie. You know, any other movie that they're gonna do that's gonna be a spin-off of a sole character, they're so intertwined within the story now.
That's
that
true.
They're gonna have to go back and create, and Falcon, I guess.
I mean, it's a lot like the comic books in that regard.
Yeah.
Well, that's what
Where
they're
you'll
doing.
have random characters from like the team go into the side stories with the main character of that story and do all types of stuff. I mean, it makes perfect sense.
Well, that's what the
does.
director says they're gonna start doing now. They're
Which-
not gonna try to
Have just
do-
one main character.
Yeah, and also cater to the people that haven't seen the other movies yet. Either you haven't seen them or you have, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? You better play catch up.
And that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with. Same thing with Star Wars. They're just starting to roll out. If you're not with it,
Yeah.
sorry
every
for
year
you,
Star
man.
Wars,
Yeah.
I'm okay with
Yeah,
that.
so am I.
I have no
There's,
problem
there's
with
enough
that.
out there for you to go find
Yeah.
out. Like,
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, should I say?
yeah, go ahead, JP. It's all your floor.
There was 2 things that I really loved. Well, 3 actually, but Oscar already touched on Spider-Man. The Black Panther.
Yes.
T'Challa. God, so amazing. Like, everything they did with him was perfect. Like, when he's chasing down Bucky on the bike. In the comic, he can run up to like 50 miles per hour.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
The way he chased him down, like, all that. And I really like Baron Zemo.
Zemo was. You found out how patient and calculated
how
that dude
patient,
is.
how psychotic the dude was. I loved him. I can't wait to see him.
Don the mask probably later.
With the mask.
That's what I was a little.
But with the mask, it gets melted on his face.
Yeah, from that adhesive that he created. Yeah, it gets melted on his face.
When the comic book, is he Hydra or is he not Hydra?
He's supposed to be Hydra.
Well, he's a Strucker, and Struckers are the line is notoriously affiliated with Hydra.
Yeah,
whether Baron Zemo is with Hydra, I don't know.
In this movie, he sounded like a random dude from the streets that got access to the intel from Winter Soldier.
He was civilian national forces or some shit like that.
There you go.
But he still got the way into this movie was he got the leaked files from
Winter Soldier. So his origin is a little bit different, I'm assuming. But I mean,
just like most of the people in the MCU.
Yeah, which is fine. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, but him I loved, man. Especially like the ending I didn't like, but I liked because he did what he wanted to do, which was break up the Avengers. So the bad guy kind of won, even though he's locked up. He did what he wanted to do, and
I agree with that. I did love that fact that he said himself, there were more powerful beings that couldn't defeat the Avengers. So what does he do? Have them fight amongst each other. I love that idea.
He said a nation where the people rise up against one like dictator or something like that, but if they fight amongst themselves, that's broken forever.
Yes, that line I was like,
and Black Panther was like, "You motherfucker!" It worked.
It worked.
Yo, Black Panther with the quickness stopped him from committing suicide.
He stopped the bullet with his hand.
That was dope.
I will say, like, oh my gosh.
But, so those were my 3 things, man.
All right.
Trey, I think we're going.
Oh, here we go. Drum roll, please.
Right. Wait, I'm the last one, right?
Yeah. But they know that I haven't said
much. But Trey
yet.
hasn't said anything, hasn't posted anything.
Yep, that's
like I wanted to text him about it. I was like, I'll just wait.
All right. My number one thing on this movie, which is honestly it's number one because it was the biggest surprise, because it was the biggest guy in the movie. Giant Man, the appearance of Giant Man. I thought that was fucking spectacular. Of course, it was CGI and it moved a little slow.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
But the fact that they even brought it out and that, Scott had only apparently tried it one other time and it knocked him out. So, that joint, and it seemed like just the whole repertoire between Ant-Man and Falcon and just like and Winter Soldier, it was just like everyone got along but didn't get along and wasn't they were all quick to make fun of each other and get on each other's cases.
Kind of like us right now.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that Ant-Man, like you said earlier, he really just stole the show. He was funny from top to bottom. He was hilarious. He threw the fucking truck to Captain America. It was a water truck and it blew up.
I was more blown to the fact that Spider-Man and Ant-Man didn't have a better moment where they were like, oh, we're both insect characters. You know what I'm saying? We're both named after insects. You know what I'm saying? I was waiting for a moment like that.
That would have been cool.
That would have been dope.
I have to say my second favorite thing about it, and I was talking to you guys about it before you got here, Johnny, but that they actually had Spider-Man looking like Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. He was crawling on walls like Spider-Man should. He was swinging all around, lifting shit up, talking mad shit,
being funny during fighting.
Yeah, talking about Captain America's shield. This shit defies the laws of physics. And then the fact that he was the only one that had the holy shit line when Ant-Man grew up. He was just holy shit!
Yo,
that shit was hilarious.
Everybody in the theater busted out laughing for that. You know what? That was a perfectly timed moment, though.
It really was.
That was great.
That was really good.
The Star Wars...
That was great.
I would have to say the third thing that I was really impressed with was honestly the entire opening scene in Nigeria. That whole scene was just disgusting. And I'm gonna tell you the best part of the two best parts of the scene. The first one, the Scarlet Witch. This bitch takes gas by the molecules out of the air and just disperses it into the atmosphere What the fuck?
Yeah, it was pretty weird.
What in the fuck?
You like that because she's an X-Men character.
She's not an X-Men character. She was an X-Men villain, but she's never been a good guy with the X-Men. Okay. She's always been when she wasn't a bad guy, she was an Avenger. Yeah. I like the Scarlet Witch because of the fucking powers that they gave her in this joint. Like her powers in the normal comics are badass, but what they gave her in this joint is really vicious.
Yeah, mind you, she didn't have to take off the gas because Captain America, he's immune to all that.
Exactly.
But it was just just so it doesn't linger around for
the rest of them,
like the innocent bystanders or whatever.
And then I will say the second best part of that fight scene was Black Widow. Black Widow at that beginning scene where she fucked up all them dudes.
Yeah, those two guys.
Yeah. Flipping all that crazy shit.
I thought this was some WWF shit.
Yeah, she did the Rey Mysterio.
Yo! Yeah! I was like, this shit is badass. And it was just like, I had seen hours before that they were talking about giving her own movie. I'm like, nope, this is why. Like, I mean, she really made that fucking scene. Like, her being the spy, like... It was like
double agent spy.
Yeah, she made this movie, especially with the fact that she helped out Captain America in the hangar,
which I didn't like. But we'll let
it made no sense.
She's a double agent though, but it makes a little sense. But whatever. But let's damn her for doing that.
Yeah, man, she was shooting at Black Panther.
I know, man.
All right, what about you, Johnny?
Well, you guys all talked about what I liked about the movie, and
obviously
at this point, I mean. Like I said, it creates excitement for the next movie, right?
Yeah.
But also, what I was thinking about when I saw that floating prison the whole time, I thought of Sinister Six. Now they got the Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
If you read Ultimate Comics, they have prisons like that in Ultimate Comics that look exactly like that. So I was thinking, that opens the door maybe for a Sinister Six.
Well, I think that's when Spider-Man joins Captain America because he doesn't like Tony Stark's super prison, or he has a problem with it. So I think in the comic that's when he goes
switches sides,
and that's when Captain America gives him like that great American speech or whatever. And
now if you notice, it looked like they had first of all they did have Wanda in that prison in a straitjacket, and then they had some type of blinking device on her, which looked like those mutant collars from the X-Men cartoon.
Yeah, she looked pale.
She looked pale, and she looked like she was bugging out.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, maybe this will lead to her wilding out and fucking up the Avengers because of her imprisonment. Because, I mean, if you think about it, she went off on this whole thing. Avengers. Tony Stark's... Well, yeah. Well, I mean, if you think about it, she went off on this whole thing and even got these powers because of Tony Stark's technology used against her village or her town. Then she joins up with Tony Stark, even after all the stuff that goes on. Then she gets put into a fucking jail cell and locked up and can't use her powers, can't even fucking communicate with people because of a bill that Tony Stark is helping to push. So I can just see her coming out of there and fucking up the Avengers, or the ones that are the Tony Stark Avengers.
Ones that are left.
Yeah.
So
and she can easily do it, man.
She can easily do it. God. I mean, how many? There's at least 4 different occasions that in the comic books that the Scarlet Witch wigs out and just defeats all of the Avengers on her own.
And I was aside from Scarlet Witch, but you're talking about powers and who's powerful and all that. I was reading IGN and made a good point. The Spider-Man, even though he don't know it right away, he was probably the strongest one out of all of them.
And that's what I was telling Trey.
Yeah.
Because on Facebook, I was reading some of the comments that people post.
Yeah.
And this one guy was like, "How is he stopping? The Winter Soldier?" I was like, "Dude,
this guy knows nothing." I saw a couple comments.
What do you know?
Y'all don't realize Spider-Man's strong.
I was like, he's stronger than the and
we talked about that before. We said you said that Spider-Man was probably the strongest one out of all.
You did say that.
I did.
He just doesn't. It was probably our podcast.
Yeah.
He just doesn't. Brag about it, talk about it.
He doesn't show it at all. Yeah. The only time you ever see Spider-Man really doing incredible feats of strength is literally when he's saving someone.
Yeah.
Every time I've ever seen, even in this movie, except for the time that he lifted, what was it, that truck or something?
When he stopped the car from
he stopped the car from hitting the bus. On the video. And then in the main fight, he lifted up something.
Like the joint from the
the hangar.
The part where people walk in.
Yeah, that's right. He was holding the bridge up. Exactly.
While he's talking to Captain America.
Exactly. And he was like, yo, getting a little help here, bro.
The Queens, dude.
But that whole, and then of course the little scene after Cap mops the floor with Spider-Man real quick, and he goes, "I like you, kid. Where are you from?" He's like, "I'm from Queens." He's like, "Brooklyn," and just walks out. I was like, "Yo,
this." But you see, there's like a mutual kind of respect kind of thing between both of them right there. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, I think Cap gets the vibe that he doesn't really mean to do this. He's just a recruit, which is
he knows. He knows that he's young, and Tony got to him first.
Yeah. It's just like how he recruited Ant-Man.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
True. I mean, he even makes that little comment. I'm just here to impress Mr. Stark. Yeah. I was like, he came out there to that airport like an internship. It was exactly awesome.
The shit that had me rolling was when he had like Falcon in the headlock, and he was like, "You have the right to remain silent." Just like freeze. And I was like, "Yo, they got my
you
man
could tell he was a kid, yo. He was out there having a good time."
I was like, "Yo, they got my man right finally." You know what I'm saying?
And he put the business on the Winter Soldier and Falcon.
Yeah.
So awesome, man.
Yeah, he just has even like the Peter Parker look. That's how he looks in the comics.
Yeah. Little boy, like you wouldn't expect anything from him, but
And I'm not gonna lie, you were right. Tom Holland was on point.
Thank you, Trey.
Like I'm always fearful
of castings.
I am. Yes. I really am. But Marvel always seems to get it right.
Record is now proved. Now, when they announce someone, I'm gonna say, you know what? I believe in them. Because
exactly.
Now with the Tom Holland, at first I was like, I didn't even know who this kid was.
A lot of people didn't. It's like a lot of people.
I only knew who he was until they announced it.
He's been in a couple like British movies, but
are those British movies at your home for any chance?
No, they're not.
Is he British?
They're on the torrent somewhere.
I don't know.
No, he's British. Yeah,
he's British. Yeah, he's British.
But I had to convince a few people. I was like, just wait. I was like, he's gonna be a beast. I'm telling you.
I mean, when has Marvel ever proved us wrong with the casting?
True. I was worried about Cumberbatch just because I didn't know who the fuck he was, and everybody was like, "Nah, Chief, nah, that man is legit.
Yeah,
that man is legit.
He can act."
I mean,
everybody was like, "You ain't seen this? You ain't seen that?" I was like, "Bruh."
He's gonna be great.
His name is Benedict. I mean, come on.
But his last name is Cumberbatch.
I'm gonna tell you,
I'm calling him Cumberbatch.
We went to go see the movie in 3D, and we went to go see Avengers in 3D, and of course all the trailers are in 3D. So the Doctor Strange trailer comes on, and I was into this joint when I was watching it on YouTube. That 3D trailer of this motherfucker, yo, that is that movie needs to be seen in 3D. That joint is gonna be bad ass. Because when they have that little joint where you see the four corners of New York City all coming in,
it's like on top of each other.
In 3D, that shit is fucking trippy.
And what was dope, I saw it in IMAX. So
yeah, we saw it.
You see everything, and I'm like, oh shit, those boats are really moving.
You see all the little intricate pieces of everything. Oh man, it was incredible.
Seeing it in IMAX 3D,
you can't appreciate that trailer on the computer screen.
No, you can't. You can't. Not at all.
In the theater.
Like I said, that movie has to be seen in 3D. Like
that's
when it comes out.
Smart move. Did you saw Civil War at IMAX?
Yeah,
I saw it in
IMAX.
Dude,
you only go big and go home, bro. I know you saw it, Tyson, too, right?
I saw it. There's only 2 theaters for big movies, IMAX, and also Tyson's has a new technology called Dolby Cinema. That is actually, I might even think it's better than IMAX. It's like 4K. I mean, it's laser sharp. I mean, it's amazing. It's reclining seats, and also the seats actually vibrate with the action.
You know what? That's what I gotta see.
And it's great.
It's not the 4DX, right?
No.
That's what I want.
Yeah, and actually, I'm not a fan of 3D because I think 3D is just a gimmick to me. Except for maybe
the same way. I'm the same
Doctor
way.
Strange because of all that. But it's all gimmick.
I saw this movie in 3D.
You saw it in 3D?
I saw, but
3D. I did, but it was just because of the timing.
Yeah. Did you think?
I think it was our timing too, but like it added a little bit, but not that.
Honestly, the only thing that I saw in 3D
helicopter when
that.
Came at you. I was like,
and actually, Red Wing at the beginning, the little drone joint.
Red Wing was dope as shit too. That's what I'm saying. Falcon is so underrated, man.
And when Captain America throws his shield and he catches it behind him like that, it kind of.
I remember one scene. This wasn't. I mean, it's not part of the 3D conversation, but we're talking about the shield throwing. He threw it at somebody. Threw it so hard it hit him in the head, and he didn't even fall down from the impact. It hit him so hard his neck just snapped.
Damn.
Yeah, that part was so beat. Captain America whooped ass in this movie.
He really did.
He really whooped.
I'm saying if this nigga can kick a truck and knock a nigga 15 feet out of the way,
people know he's powerful, but don't know how powerful he can be.
This movie made me appreciate him more. I was like, he really kicked ass.
Yeah.
And then the part where he makes up with the girl too, and the guy's reaction.
Oh yeah, his boys in the back.
That shit is hilarious.
That shit was hilarious. I was expecting more excitement out of them, but their reaction.
That was a perfect reaction.
You know what surprised me? Remember we talked about are they going to kill Captain America off or not?
Yeah.
That I was waiting for it.
You know, actually, sorry to interrupt. I thought they were going to kill him off just because, you know, he's going to take a break and maybe, you know, they'll bring him back with Infinity Stones. That's what I thought. I was kind of hoping for that part of me because that's something different.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
it is what it is.
Because in the comic, Crossbones is the one that takes him out, and Sharon Carter, she's like hypnotized. So I think they both take him out.
Yeah, I believe Crossbones hypnotizes Sharon, and she's the one that snipes him.
Yeah,
Crossbones is dead now.
But that's when I saw him blow up, I was like, oh,
but also you got to think about it. Like these cats now, if you sign on to a Marvel movie, you're signing on for at least 5 or 6 movies.
Yeah.
Like
Definitely.
easily,
so much.
easily.
Yeah.
I mean,
so like he's fucking Captain America.
Yeah.
There's no way that they're gonna kill Captain America.
more
At least not until like the end of one of the biggest story arcs.
well, how many more movies do we have until Infinity War?
Just Thor
with Ragnarok.
Doctor Strange, I believe the Black Panther, correct? Is that what
that's
no, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Homecoming, Black
There's
Panther.
no way he can die within these movies then.
No.
I was thinking maybe he dies like early on in Infinity War and they bring him back for the second part maybe.
Yeah, that's...
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I was hoping for Civil War, because it would have shook up everything, and like I said, they could have brought him back. I mean, in comics, they never die. You know,
I think they watched Batman vs Superman. Killing off the main guy, not a good look.
No. But the way they did it in that was a joke. Well, I mean, come on.
Speaking of killing, though.
They really did go a little too quick there.
Speaking of killing, though. Okay, so you know Vision, they talk about the stone in his head, right?
Yeah, the Mind Stone.
So say Thanos comes and takes the stone out of his head. Doesn't he kind of die?
That's pretty, That's what's... I was thinking about that, because I like the Vision, but... I guess he's gonna have to die.
I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a point. They keep playing it up that he has the Mind Stone or whatever.
Yeah.
So obviously Thanos is gonna come take that.
I mean, he needs it. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's what brought him to life.
So think about it. How they gonna keep Vision alive? You know what I'm saying?
But then maybe he'll come back to the AI as Jarvis, which I kind of miss because that Friday, I'm not digging. Friday,
I don't mind Friday. I like her voice.
You know what? She's way better in the comic book.
Yeah.
If you read the comic book, she's like sarcastic, like Tony Stark.
Shit, she's sarcastic in this movie.
Not like in the comic book.
Yeah, not as
in
much.
the comic book. You gotta.
Because I was like, she was giving mad lip to Tony Stark. I was like, you gonna let the computer talk to you like that, bro?
The comic book, I think, is more sarcasm than that.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do have a question. When the Vision tries to shoot down Falcon,
yes,
and he shoots down a War Machine. What do you think he was going after War Machine just to slow him down?
He's in love, bro.
He's in love. That's what it.
Women, man.
Yeah, I know, right? It's.
Hey, Elizabeth
she's pretty bad. She's one of the higher Olsens.
Vision, I don't blame you, bro.
But yeah, I mean, dude, he never misses.
I mean,
he missed badly.
Yo, they hinted at a relationship back in. I mean, like you saw the way she looked at him when he saved her on Sokovia when it started falling.
Yeah, when he picks her up.
Yeah, and in this movie, he makes her dinner because she feels bad. They're all flustered around each other. Like,
so it makes sense why he missed. They kind of hinted, but
he paralyzed my man War Machine.
Oh, dude, that was bad. I'm not gonna lie, that was bad.
That joint gutted his suit like a fish.
Yeah,
I was like, Jesus Christ, one shot.
They'll find a way to bring War Machine back.
Oh yeah, no, he's not gonna stay crippled.
With Tony's technology,
he'll be back. Man.
I'm sure somehow they'll give some bullshit reason, like a surgeon, top notch, gives him his legs back or something.
Yeah. I will say though that Vision looked weird walking around in like khakis.
Right. With
a sweater vest. That Mr. Rogers look guy.
That's how it is in the comic book though.
I know, but it's just like it's just weird to see it played out in real life. You know what I'm saying? Like
he's maroon wearing dark blue.
Right, like this nigga what?
Yeah, that was pretty comical seeing that, but you know what? It's fine. It's a movie.
That's very true.
I can.
I just want to say that was like one of my funniest moments of the fucking movie was just watching him walking around looking like Mr. Rogers. Like that shit was fucking hilarious. At least to me. I don't know about y'all.
So let's talk about anyone disliked anything about the movie.
It wasn't. I dislike the fact I gotta wait like another 2 years for the next Avengers joint. That's why I dislike.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like everybody's thing right now. But
I don't like the fact that I gotta wait like half a year for the DVD for this movie.
You know what? The DVD will be out next month. Knowing them, the capitalized. It'll probably be sooner than later.
I might have to pull a Trey and just bootleg that joint and watch it like over and over again, man.
Now, with something like Civil War, they might hold this shit out till Christmas.
Yeah, this movie.
Nah, I don't think so, man.
A Deadpool took a while to come out.
That's true.
It came out in February, and the DVD just came out on Tuesday or today.
Actually, I just bought that too.
If you get digital, it's been out digital for a while too.
Oh, it has.
I hate digital.
If you got Apple TV, you know what I'm saying?
I have Apple TV.
I don't believe in
Fuck
Apple. Thank you.
Apple TV's magic. Oh, here we go.
Let's just.
That's a whole nother podcast. Another podcast.
I will bring this up. We were talking about this before we went live, and about the extra scenes. At least I believe it was before we went live, and I thought it was kind of So I went with my girl, hi Jenna, and she definitely,
that was a great shout out, by the way. That was
great
good.
Little shout out.
Hey,
so yeah.
I snuck one in too. That was good.
You want one too, sir?
She called us out. She called us out because she is not a comic book fan at all, and she's like, man, you guys are nerds for sitting at the movie theater, and at first I'm just like, shh, don't say that too loud, and then after that I'm thinking to myself, you know what, the extra scene, it was funny. I liked it. I liked how Spider-Man did the whole, it was this guy named Steve from Brooklyn, he had a huge friend. A real big friend, yeah. It was smart. It was intelligent. It was funny. It was great. But I could have used that at, not at the end of the, it's like
maybe like a mid,
maybe pull that a little bit further because they had two scenes.
Yeah, and then put the Winter Soldier part at the end.
Yeah,
do the ones that have a little bit more substance. Put that at the end, so I don't feel like an idiot at the end. Because she just looked at me at the very end and she was like, "Really?" I was like, "I know."
It was like a good 20 seconds of And you know what though? My thing is that wrist device, that's not his webbing stuff, right?
No.
It looks like something Tony Stark gave him.
Yeah,
because he kept saying it.
But it gave the little Spider-Man face symbol like he used to use in the comic books to light up street muggers and alleys and shit, and that was on his belt buckle.
That was cool.
Or when Tony needs him, it calls him too.
Yeah.
So which is super old school though. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, it works.
He
upgraded the shit out of that joint with the
you saw the other
face coming up in the air
and then it had symbols around.
What we trying to say is he showed Batman how it's really done. You know what I'm saying?
Shots fired yet again. Man. I love it.
Oh man, I didn't wear a Kevlar.
I had to do that one.
But I don't know. I thought the way they did it was perfect, man.
Yeah. And like I said earlier when we're off air, it was something a little bit different. I was expecting maybe Thanos, but that's been kind of played out. So something different.
I think they might do that with Guardians or Doctor Strange, maybe.
Yeah. I'm sure Guardians they will have to.
Yeah, Doctor Strange wouldn't be a bad movie to do it in either.
That's true too.
You wouldn't expect it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty dope. I'd take it in Doctor Strange, especially since that's the next one up.
Oh, I can't wait November, man.
Oh man, there's just so many possibilities.
Is before, isn't it?
No,
that's next year. Never mind.
Yeah, they haven't started filming yet.
That's next year.
So does that mean we segue into X-Men?
Oh yeah, that might be a good segue.
That's perfect. So. That just fell right into our laps. Let's go with it.
All right.
The buzz hasn't been so hot for that joint.
That's very true. Oh, and I will say right now that you guys that the last Wolverine movie, the rated R joint, is being filmed right now.
The last Wolverine had a rated R cut too.
No, it didn't. Oh, it had one.
Yeah. It had a director's cut.
I didn't know. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
It wasn't
which one?
The Wolverine.
The Wolverine. Yeah. It did have a director's cut.
I didn't feel like paying money for that.
Bloody. Actually, I do have it. I didn't actually buy it. I bought it because the box was pretty cool.
You gotta give us your analysis on that.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll probably go home and watch it. I'm not gonna watch Deadpool because that was great.
Deadpool was awesome.
So
X-Men.
My favorite Marvel franchise is probably going to be sent to the sun to be destroyed.
I don't think so. It depends how much money it makes.
I don't think so either.
Well, there's been a plethora of reviews that have come out in the last couple of days, and the reviews are about as mixed as the reviews were for Batman and Superman versus Superman.
Exactly.
Maybe a little bit more positive, just a little bit.
I don't know.
A little bit more positive.
I was telling him, I read some and it was more bad than positive.
Wow.
All the ones I read were bad.
Is it the Forbes review? You can't take Forbes review for granted.
I read Forbes review because someone showed it to me. But at the same time, I also read at least 4 other reviews from different sources.
I read the Metacritic.
Metacritic. Yeah.
You know, they're pretty legit.
But they're very strict.
They are.
Yeah. What percentage did they give? Because I think they're percentage.
47.
Oh, wow.
Is that the one that was 47?
I think they gave it the lowest score.
Remember, we can't base it off critics' review.
Yeah,
true.
Watch the movie.
Well, they got Batman vs Superman right.
Zing!
Get out of here.
I mean, but from the jump, Trey, I told you it didn't look that hot.
Yeah, and I told you from the jump too. I wasn't excited for it at all. Like when I first saw the first things, and when they first started having the actual views of Apocalypse looking like Apocalypse, that's when I started to get excited. But I've read so much from the people talking about certain characters just don't have much to say on the screen or any lines, and certain characters are more catered to and all this other stuff. I mean, you knew some of this was going to happen. I knew some of it was going to happen. But like I said before, I've said it on the videos that we do. Shout out to our YouTube page, Trey and Johnny's Comic Book Show.
Watch it.
I've said it on the
Facebook page coming soon. It's in the works.
Yes, in the works. And we also on SoundCloud. Now we're on iTunes and we're on Google Play. So we coming up.
We're worldwide. Now, Facebook page is where we're going to house all our stuff.
Yeah, so you guys will be able to get to it. You'll be able to like it and everything. But anyway, I said before on a plethora of different platforms that this movie could possibly be one of the best movies that they've ever made for the X-Men franchise, or it could be one of the worst.
We gotta find the audio on that one, because you definitely said that.
I definitely said that. I've said that a number of times.
I think he said that when we talked about it.
Because
I was the one trying to convince him a little bit, but he was like,
I fall in between. I always thought it was just gonna be alright. This is gonna be okay.
I mean, after they came out with the views of him looking like Apocalypse, like he was blue and shit, and he actually had the lines on his face, I was like, all right, this might be all right. And, I mean, it sounds like it's going to be a bomb story, but from just the stuff that I read, I mean, I'm going to go see it, because I'm an X-Men fan through and through, and I'm still going to support
Olivia Munn.
But I don't know, dog. Like, the jury is still out. Like, it's literally like Civil War. I've been itching to see Civil War for months.
And it didn't let down
at all.
Bit.
Honestly, I'm damn near terrified of Apocalypse. I don't know what's gonna happen. Yeah. And I mean, it's a blower to see, Iron Man is your favorite franchise. Iron Man flourishes, dog. Captain America could be somebody else's Joan. Captain America flourishes. The Avengers could be somebody else's, but like X-Men is my shit. Like that's the shit that I grew up on. X-Men and the fucking Fantastic Four. Both those franchises have been decimated.
Trey might be going 0-for-2 on this one.
You know what? It's like, but Iron Man flourishes in other movies, not his own.
He still flourishes, though.
I guess.
The beauty of the X-Men series, though, is the fact that it really branched out. You had X-Factor, you had X-Force, you had all these other developments pulled out of the X-Men universe, and now with Deadpool and introduction of Cable after that, you really open yourself to a lot of potential of, going in different segues with the X-Men. So I think the nice thing is and they alluded to it, was that this movie was going to kickstart or kind of reset everything to restart everything, and it might be their way of, hey, let's fix this old franchise.
And I know they said they want to kind of do like a continuity between the titles, so the movies will interact with each other, and events from each movie will go affect the next movie, because apparently in this one they talk about the fight that happened previously with Days of Future Past.
So it was in the Cyclops.
Exactly. Yeah, and so like all this new stuff, like I mentioned before that they're supposed to have the New Mutants TV show. That's supposed to have some type of continuity with the movies. I mean, Alexandra Shipp is supposed to be in the show. And then Deadpool was supposed to more work in with them too. I mean, I would assume since you have both Deadpool and, like you said, Cable, X-Force will be coming out at some point. point. I mean, you never know, because I mean, most of the characters that were on X-Force that were New Mutants are not the ones that are being casted. Like the New Mutants that they say that they're going to use are not the ones that became X-Force. So who knows where that's going to lie in that universe? Sure. There's a lot of avenues that they can go. There's a lot of different shit that they can do.
Or they can just join the Marvel universe
and make everyone happy. God damn it!
Yes.
You know what I was just thinking the other day? You know how like Marvel, the cinematic universe, they changed what was supposed to be adamantium for Captain America's shield into vibranium.
Yeah.
Originally in the comic book it was adamantium, the Wolverine claw stuff.
I always thought it was vibranium.
No. At one point
it was adamantium.
I thought it was some sort of error. I was reading about that.
At one point it was adamantium.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Because in Ultron they say it came out of Wakanda, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I've always known Cap's shield to be vibranium. Because it was a step down from adamantium. It's the next step down from adamantium. Maybe they did give him an adamantium shield at one time.
We need to Google that.
We need to Google that.
But how dope would it be if they join universes, right? And then Captain America's like, I have the strongest metal on my shield, and Wolverine comes and slices that shit like it's nothing.
But he can't slice it with bone claws.
No, but like adamantium.
But remember the new trailer, somehow he gets his claws back.
And he slices that joint.
That'd be sick.
So you thought. Yeah. You know, some shit like that, you know? So
that would be sick, though.
Now, I will say that I don't know if this is rumor or whatever it might be, but there have been talk about X-Men versus Avengers, and they're talking about using the Fox cast as the X-Men, and then combining the studios, because Spider-Man, they not only sold the rights back, but like at the same time, Sony still gets a kickback.
Yeah,
of course.
They get a kickback. So it's basically just like, I'm not sure if they actually bought Spider-Man back, or are they like renting Spider-Man from Sony?
They're actually renting him, from what I heard. They're renting him.
And they could do the same thing with the X-Men. That way Fox could still get their cut, but they would get their cut out of billions more gross.
Yeah, and look at the difference it made. Sony, I think, made the right move, because they're going to make a killing anyway.
Hell yeah.
But the difference it made
is
it's amazing. It makes you excited.
Yeah. Especially for a solo movie, a Homecoming.
Yeah, definitely.
But now we'll have Iron Man in it, Robert Downey Jr., awesome which is gonna be great.
They just stick an Iron Man in everything. I think Iron Man's been in the most.
You know what? They can say he's in it, but he's probably not in it like that much.
You know what? That's what I think. But the way, if they put him more, I think it's gonna benefit. I really do. The more you put these characters, which I love, I don't mind them putting more characters. It's more fun. It's just better. So hopefully, I'm right that he's more in it than just like 5 minutes. If he's in 5 minutes, I'm gonna be a little disappointed. But
I don't think I think he's gonna have a a
big role. Yeah, which
brings us one step closer to the Iron.
Well, I mean, with them.
Oh man, don't get me excited, man.
I'm such a nerd. The whole time I was thinking like as Spider-Man was on screen, so I was like, all right, so he's been Spider for 6 months, right? So does that mean he's fought Norman Osborn already? Who is Uncle Ben in that universe? You know what I'm saying? Did he give him the great power comes great responsibility? You know what I'm saying?
Very true.
Where's Harry Osborn and all this? Like, I was just thinking about all that shit while I was watching it. So, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm alone on that one. But
I mean,
think about it, because like,
I mean, I didn't even consider that until right now.
Yeah,
but you just opened up.
No, I did. When he said 6 months, I did wonder. Okay, well, what has he done so far in 6 months that Iron Man knows about?
Like, has he fought or interacted?
I mean, like, you really did just open up my mind a little bit, though.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even think about that till right now.
I'm not gonna get no sleep tonight. Even
the past 2 movies, even though the last iteration of it was fucked up, they still had that.
Which one?
He got his powers from Norman Osborn. The Amazing Spider-Man, and then he got it from the OG ones. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So in the 6 months, all this has happened. Then you know
and you got to think about it. They did that. They must have done it purposefully, because it really gets you hyped up for seeing a solo Spider-Man movie.
So my question mark is who are they gonna put as these people? You know what I'm saying? Who was Uncle Ben? Who's Norman Osborn? Who's Harry? You know what I'm saying? Because those are very important people.
Yeah, honestly, like I've said before, again, on episodes and podcasts, I'm just glad. I don't want to see a origin story.
Which we won't
I don't want Uncle Ben.
And I'm glad that we're like. I'm glad that
I can't take it.
I'm glad that they gave. I'm glad that they gave Spider-Man the time that they gave him in this movie, his little 6-month stint before he went off on this joint. That way, you don't need any origin story. Like you said, you might find out a little bit more about Uncle Ben, about some of the other circumstances about but it's mostly going to be his life and what he's dealing with at that point. Yeah. So
that is true. Homecoming is not going to be an origin story, from what I read. So that's
what I read too.
They're just going to jump right into it, which is fine.
They'll probably do that Incredible Hulk joint, where with the Ed Norton joint in the beginning, where they just do flashbacks and shit.
Yeah, that would be pretty smart.
Be a good way.
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with it too.
They did that for the OG Spider-Man movies too. Like for 2 and 3, I think they gave like flashbacks of the previous movie.
Oh yeah, so they did.
Like
the original Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that
2 and 3,
true.
I think did it for the previous.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you guys a random question though. We already know that this villain for Homecoming is going to be the Vulture.
That's rumored. Is that confirmed?
Not
the Vulture?
Confirmed.
Not confirmed. It's rumored. Yeah.
But it's still a big rumor, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay, well, if it's not confirmed yet, a villain who has not yet been featured or in the Marvel, in any continuity of Spider-Man, who would you like to see come out?
Which way are we going?
We'll start with JP.
Actually, can you start somewhere else? I really have to think about this one.
I really do. I think about this as well.
Give me Carnage, damn it.
Oh,
there you go.
You got my hand. You stole it from me.
But I think Carnage is a little too hardcore.
Yeah, Carnage is way... They'd have to make it rated R or something. Yeah. That dude does not care about
he's
life.
He's like Deadpool status. Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
Carnage will kill you, then go to work on you.
Yeah, I will go with Mysterio.
I was going to say that too.
I like Mysterio. There's something about him that I would love to see on the big screen. Carnage would be great, but that's just too much.
You know what, though? And with Mysterio, too, even though he's like a B or C list villain, some storylines make him an A-lister, depending on what he does.
Yeah.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
I remember Iron Man was considered a B-list character in the comic. Look at how he is. So it's
Iron Man was too.
Yeah.
Iron Man definitely was until the movie came out.
Yeah, so anything's possible, man. You make a great movie, they'll be on top of the list.
There you go.
Or you make a crappy movie. I'm not gonna name it, but you know it's
you
out
know
there.
who you are.
Yeah, you know who you are. So
thanks.
All right. What about you, Ellie?
It's funny because you guys stole the two that I initially I was going with yours.
Okay. Yeah.
Initially, I was going that route, and then when you said Carnage, it just. I lost. I was like, okay, I can't think of anything else. That's
like we've seen, Venom, horrible. What we saw.
Yeah, I didn't realize we'd seen so many.
That's why I was stuck.
Sandman, Hydro Man.
Yeah.
But I think so with and correct me if I'm wrong. I read one note that they're gonna try at least if Spider-Man takes to do 4 movies to essentially do a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year, right?
I like that.
Cool. So that's kind of how they'd like to set it up. And again, it's just from one article that I read, but if they have that amount of time to develop a Venom through to a Carnage series, I thought that'd be kind of cool.
I'll accept that answer because Venom really wasn't done on
not at all. No,
it was awful.
A disgrace.
But if you take it as like a Black Spider-Man to a Venom to a Carnage series, and you have the span of 4 movies to do it on,
I think they can.
Why not?
Venom becoming the anti-hero, helping out Spider. Oh man, that would be great. That would be great.
Yeah.
So I did my Googles and they haven't confirmed the villain yet.
They haven't confirmed it. Okay.
Yeah. It would be cool if it was Vulture though.
Yeah. Well, I would say for my pick, I was gonna say what Johnny said.
Carnage.
No, my bad. What you said.
Mysterio.
Mysterio would be great.
Because I always thought Mysterio. Mysterio would be a badass villain. Honestly, I always thought.
Big glass dome.
Yeah. I don't know how they would do it.
They'll figure it out.
They redo that shit. You know they would.
Yeah.
And I was actually torn between what I was gonna pick because I was gonna either pick the Shocker.
The Shocker.
That was on the back of my mind. The Shocker would be great too.
I feel like a Shocker though would be a two villain movie. You think so? Yeah.
Well, I was also thinking a Scorpion. Because they haven't done the Scorpion yet.
There we go, 2 villains.
Damn, Trey.
See, that's why I hate the fact
And I'm not
that,
even a Spider-Man fan like that, baby. What?
That's why I hate the fact that Amazing Spider-Man 2 teased Scorpion, Vulture, and Doc Ock.
Yeah, when he's walking through it. Yeah.
It's like, why tease me if you're not going to make a third one, damn it? You know what I'm saying?
It's because that movie...
Because they probably didn't know that they weren't going to make a third one at that point.
Well, the ending, too, when he grabs, like the sewer, it was like the top of the sewer, and he's flinging it at a rhino.
Yeah.
Just for the heck of it.
That was just awful.
It's just like
it was a good movie up until that.
These people know these movies are gonna do great before they come out. They know. They know.
I just feel like you ever, it's like you start a story and then you're like, oh man, guys, it's 11 o'clock. I gotta get home. Let's just wrap it up.
I wish they would have done that with that movie instead. They had all the time in the world. Oh no, you know what? Let's do it like 4 hours.
I just hate incomplete movies like that though, because like even though a movie sucked, I mean they could have made a third one better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They could have made a third one better. You know.
Okay, and I'll pose the exact same question, but I'll flip it to the X-Men universe. Like, say Marvel was to pick up X-Men tomorrow, after or right after Apocalypse, and they said that they were going to bring one of your favorite villains.
I got one.
Who would be the villain that you would want? And I'm gonna go with Ellie first.
Oh boy,
you don't really
man. No, you know what? I would love it if somehow the Apocalypse series ended in Onslaught becoming the next storyline.
Oh, you want to go big.
Onslaught. And then that would eventually open the door for Age of Apocalypse, potentially. So.
Interesting.
So you said any villain.
Any villain from the X-Men universe.
I want to see Juggernaut done
the proper way.
Correctly. Because, Juggernaut was a force.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, I'm like, they had him in, what was it, X2?
Yeah.
X3.
The Juggernaut, bitch. I mean,
Juggernaut, bitch. It was awful.
Yeah.
It was really bad.
But I want to see him because God damn, man.
Yeah. He used to handle the X-Men single-handedly.
Yes.
8 X-Men just batted away. No, fuck y'all. I'm not worried about y'all.
So
get off me.
I want to see him because he was such a beast, dude. I mean, his armor, everything about him.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Mr. Sinister.
That's going to be my
favorite bad
guy. That's what. Yes, it is. Mr. Sinister.
There's so much they can do with Sinister.
Oh, man, don't.
Dude, they could tear the place apart with Mr. Sinister.
Oh, man.
Let it out, man. Let it out, man.
Just the potential. That would be great, but as long as Fox owns it.
Yeah.
I don't.
Because with Mr. Sinister, not only do you get the Nasty Boys, but you also get the Marauders. And that leads to Mutant Massacre.
Right.
So that could be one fucking hell of a storyline. What about you, Sir Johnny?
Mine? Redo the Dark Phoenix saga. Take
this
motherfucker.
Make Trey.
Now you said it.
Trey, look at the camera. Trey, look at the camera, Trey.
Preach,
take him to space like in the... Look, one thing I remember about the Dark Phoenix saga, I just remember the cartoon version.
Yeah.
And how that shit, the cartoon came out in the daytime. But when Dark Phoenix came, that shit aired at night, son.
Yep.
Yeah. It wasn't past like 10 p.m. or something.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, like I've told y'all before, the Dark Phoenix from the cartoon is damn near derived exactly from the comics.
And I just remember at that age we had VCR still, and I remember I recorded the hell out of that joint.
I didn't remember that until you said that.
Yeah, I've been making some good points tonight. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, give me the original Dark Phoenix saga. You know what I'm saying? And now that they rebooted everything, I hate how in X3 they made it like she already had it, and it was like she was like a schizo with it. You know what I'm saying?
Like Charles.
Give me the actual entity, because like if you follow the comic books now, like the Avengers vs X-Men storyline, what sparked it off was the X-Men got the Phoenix Force. Like Cyclops and
Emma
Colossus.
Colossus, Illyana Rasputin, Magic, and Namor, actually.
And then Cyclops got power hungry, started murking everybody one by one, and he started getting their powers. So
actually, what they found out was that when Namor fell fighting, he attacked Wakanda, and when Namor fell, his power was split among the other four. And then they got stronger, and then they realized, when one of us falls, the rest of us get split the power. So when Cyclops figured that out, Colossus and Illyana took each other out. Like they fought and knocked each other out, and the power left, and so it was basically between Emma Frost and Cyclops straight murked her.
I mean, Emma Frost. I mean, come on, she's.
She is the telepath though with the power of the Phoenix.
Didn't she kind of like let him murk him? Cause
she did because she knew she was getting out of control.
Yeah.
And at one point she even says, "Cyclops, help me!" Like when he like walks away from her.
And she was like, "If you want this power, take it."
Yeah. Because she basically like. She said something. She went on this whole tirade about. She went to some dude's house who was a pilot and was like, "In 1993, you were flying over Brazil and you hit something and you didn't make a plan of it. Well, it wasn't just some bird. It was a 15-year-old boy who had just sprouted wings and was flying, and you hit him and killed him with your airplane. So this is retribution." And she fried his mind.
Nice.
I was like, Jesus Christ! And right in front of the family, like no fucks given. I was like, Jesus.
No.
So that would, but
Trey.
I would have to say you actually took my answer, Mr. Sinister, because that's my dog.
Yeah.
And everybody's got good joints. I actually have two. One would be somebody that would probably have to be, like you said, it would need two villains. And I wasn't on this to begin with, but I think Johnny's the one that put me on the fence to this. Omega Red.
Oh, that's a great man. They should throw that in the rated
that's
R
the one.
range.
That's the one I think would be like a two villain movie. That would be a two villain movie, right? So I would say if they were going to make a movie and it could be like a 2-part movie, the Hellfire Club.
See, the thing about the X universe is they in the comic books a lot. They work two villains a lot.
They do.
You know?
And that's why I chose the Hellfire Club as my main one, because it would be, what was it? I think it's 5. Mm-hmm. It's Mastermind, originally Emma Frost, Sebastian Shaw, who leads it, Donald Pierce, who's the cyborg, and Harry Leland, who's the fat dude that can affect gravity or some shit like that.
Didn't they try it with First Class with two of them?
Yeah, they did.
But they didn't. It wasn't the Hellfire Club because it was Sebastian Shaw and Emma Frost, but it wasn't the Hellfire Club.
The Hellfire duo.
Whatever you want to call it. But I would love to see that, because for years, from like the 70s through the 90s, the Hellfire Club were the X-Men's biggest rival team that they fought against all the time. Mm-hmm. So, and then of course the Hellfire Club changes over time, as the X-Men do. So, I mean, there's a lot of different people that you can come for the Hellfire Club. Shit, Blackheart's a member of the Hellfire Club at one point. Celine's a member.
Yeah.
I mean, Emma Frost was a member. I mean, shit, Sunspot was a member at one point. Magneto was a member. Storm was the White Queen at one point. So, I mean, like...
Didn't they kill Sunspot?
They tried to kill Sunspot. I don't think it didn't work, though.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember exactly what that storyline entailed, but they attempted it. But, I mean, like, I think the Hellfire Club would be a good addition to the universe, and it would be just a different direction to go with it. Because now you've already got the school and the students, and these are the good mutants and all this other stuff, and you barely ever really see the bad side. Now, if you go see these rich aristocratic motherfuckers who are mutants, and these are just some fucked up individuals who like to play games for money and power, that becomes a whole different ball game that they got to fight. So I think that would be pretty tight.
I agree.
Boss.
She worked for Fox.
I'm telling you, dog. Come and get me. Somebody call me. Call me. At Sinister Cooper. Hit me up, dog.
Oh, man, I like the Omega Red, man. If they would put him in the new Wolverine movie, oh man, that would
be sick.
Yeah,
that would fill up seats, especially with a rated R.
Have they said anything about?
Well, it's supposed to be the old Logan storyline, supposedly, but
the Berserker one, or
I'm sure it's going to be loosely because I mean it's such a wacky story. I mean it's great story, but it's out there. It's going to be really hard to execute pretty closely. So.
What's that other mercenary? The one with the gold mask?
Maverick.
They could add him to it too.
That would be a Weapon X thing then.
Yeah.
But you already have Omega Red. Wasn't he part of it? No.
No, but he was created. No, because Omega Red's Russian. Yeah. And Weapon X is Canadian.
All right. I thought they kind of worked together at one point. That's why.
Now, actually, the Weapon X team was sent, I think, on a mission against Omega Red or some shit like that.
They could put him in the Deadpool movie then.
Definitely.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't wait to see Deadpool later tonight again. I've got it on Blu-ray. I can't wait to see it.
I don't know why, but lately, I've been wanting to watch Ant-Man over and over again.
That's another good one too.
Yeah,
yes, that surprised me how great that movie was, man. Oh, I can't.
I'm telling you,
sets it off, man.
Yeah,
Ant-Man, Guardians of the Galaxy were just those movies that were far left, and just like no one was expecting anything from them, and they blew everyone out of the water. I agree. Which is just like another reason. Like, I mean, we already saw Black Panther, so we know that movie's gonna be amazing. The way Wakanda was put in Civil War, the way it looked, the way T'Challa was. Period. Like, that's gonna be a legit story. You can already tell. Doctor Strange, whoa, that's gonna just blow your fucking mind.
Who tagged us in that video? Was that you today?
No, that was me.
That was that was perfect.
That was hilarious. Like, yo, I'm proud to look at my heritage now.
I look at Wakanda. I want to be looking for that shit.
I thought that was hilarious.
That was perfect.
As much as I am excited for Black Panther, I'm excited for Doctor Strange. It was kind of an interesting segue that we just did there, because we called out Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man. Those were the two that had a different treatment, and Deadpool you can throw in there, because the three of them had a different comedic treatment towards the movie that the others eventually, they're like, okay, wow, people are really gravitating to this. We need to throw that into Civil War, right? Question is off of what we've seen so far with Black Panther, I mean, how much comedic elements can they add? I mean, they'll need
with Black Panther, I don't think there's gonna be very many comedic things. Because he's a very serious guy.
Which is how I would like a movie like that. Question is how well is it gonna do?
True. They'll probably have like really subtle comedic moments.
But the thing is, though, the hype for this joint, like, people want this movie.
After seeing Civil War, it's already set.
And not to go all racial or anything, but like, Black people want their...
For sure. I mean...
Black people love seeing black superheroes, not gonna lie.
Like, Blade was the fucking shit.
Hell yeah. I love Blade.
Blade 1 and 2 was dope.
Yes.
And you know what?
2 was great.
That franchise turned really weird.
2 was the best one.
Yes. Hands down.
And then, I heard the Marvel got him back, and I'm like, okay, well, if they were to do a Blade joint, I don't want them to make a movie, because they're not going to give me an R-rated Blade.
TV show.
I want a Netflix
show.
That'd be cool.
You know what I'm saying? Because Blade 2 was pretty fucking hardcore.
Blade 2 was
That's the one where
Ermac was the bad guy.
They had the IP man in that joint.
the Asian dude.
I remember him calling out one of the vampires like this with sword behind his back. Yeah, that was Blade 2's my shit.
Yeah, Blade 2.
Part 1 doesn't hold it, even though people like Part 1.
First of all, it looks like we're gonna have to have a movie night. So
you haven't seen Blade 2?
Yeah.
I've seen Blade 2, but I mean, like, obviously we're all sitting here geeking out about this fucking movies that we've been talking about. We're just gonna have to have a fucking movie night.
I gotta get that joint like HD
let me know, man.
Blu-ray now.
Yeah.
Second of all, Captain Marvel is supposed to come out sometime soon.
Yeah.
We've already seen the Kree be introduced, and that's going to be a major part of Captain Marvel.
The Kree were introduced?
Yeah.
Where?
Ronan the Accuser?
Yeah, Ronan. It's the beers.
Definitely the beer.
But I think that Captain Marvel is just going to be fucking amazing, because I feel like the way that they're doing the Marvel, I guess you want to say space universe or whatever, has been exceptional. Like, I honestly cannot wait until, please Lord God, let it be willing in my lifetime, that Marvel gets back the Silver Surfer, because when they finally make a Silver Surfer movie, my nigga, my nigga, that's all I'm gonna say, my nigga.
That I guess we could close this episode with this one, where we talked about it with Vito, but now that we got more people here, we talked about how Inhumans got bumped out of the schedule.
I saw that.
That is true.
And we were talking about what if they got the Fantastic Four.
Since the Fantastic Four are the Inhumans were basically found by the Fantastic Four. So it would make sense if the rumors are true that they have gone ahead and gotten the franchise back. Then it would make sense for them to have the Fantastic Four, a Silver Surfer, possibly Galactus.
Not a cloud.
Not a fucking cloud.
By 1 second, because I was angry about that. I was like, not a fucking cloud.
How epic would that be? Like, you get all the Avengers, and then you get the Fan Four, and then you get Silver Surfer going off against Galactus as the next bad guy.
Oh, interesting.
After Thanos is defeated.
You know what? Iron Man can just show up for this.
And that could be like...
you know what I'm saying?
Dog, I'm telling you, like, you sign a Marvel contract, you are in for at least 5 movies, dog.
That is true.
They can
Unless you're a minor character.
Yeah,
Civil War did it.
That was
pretty cool.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
That joint was kind of creepy, though.
Yeah,
not gonna lie.
They did it with Michael Douglas and Ant-Man, though.
They did.
But
they
briefly, it was like a couple seconds.
It was like a couple, it was like less than a couple minutes.
But you know what?
You didn't have to sit there and stare at a young Tony Stark and just be like, "Whoa, no, that's not his face."
Yeah, but like we know it because we see.
I couldn't follow that.
We know it because we know, but it didn't look bad.
No, it wasn't bad. It didn't look bad at all.
Have you seen Tron, the second Tron?
Yeah.
Like you can tell that's definitely not him. You know what I'm saying?
When he was that was.
You can tell it's definitely computerized. This joint, at least. All it looked like is they smoothed out his face.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Tron was a good movie though. Tron Legacy.
It was good, but you could tell that
you could,
the other dude was definitely computer generated. You know, so
serious replay value.
Hey, you know what we didn't talk about Civil War?
What?
The fight between the Winter Soldier, Captain America, and Iron Man.
Because that almost broke my heart, man. I mean, I can't talk because I don't
want to change the subject, but
you're absolutely right. We didn't talk about that,
and that was a hell of a fight scene.
And
you know when Tony watches the video and slaps Captain America,
man,
what bitch slaps him.
Yeah, Friday says you can't beat him hand to hand combat. I was like, damn, it just.
This man said analyze his fight pattern. Just let his ass get whooped to analyze the fight pattern, and then was like, gotcha, bang, 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 boom. Like, what?
But then he got lit up like a Christmas tree.
Oh, he sure did,
You know what I'm saying?
Son, I was like, that one scene, I always thought it kind of looked a little whack where Winter Soldier and Captain America were kind of beating him down together. Mm-hmm. And then when you see how that part of the scene works in with everything else, and the fact that he used the unibeam on Bucky's arm.
Tore that apart.
I was like, this nigga blasted his arm off. And then at the same time, it was like Cap went into straight savage mode. And he just started taking his shield and crushing it into Iron Man's face and his chest. I was like,
that was the dark side of Captain America, man.
And you know the Unibeam coming out? It reminded me of Marvel vs. Capcom, the game.
The big blast.
I'm like, what is the big gun gonna come out of the Thor? That's gonna be dope. You know, but it was so like, cause you know I'm used to the game, man, and he calls it out in the game, you know, so I'm like Unibeam, but like this story, he just did it, you know what I'm saying, and people like if you're not like a casual comic reader or like you didn't play this game, you would have thought it was just any other shit. I geeked out.
Well, I mean, I don't know if they ever said it in the movie, but when he actually uses the Unibeam, it uses quite a bit of power from the suit, right?
It depleted his power.
And that's what I think that's why Captain America was able to go to work on him.
Because his energy was depleted, and that's what made him like easily knock off the helmet.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying?
But
Captain America,
that whole scene, and then the fact that they put the fucking scene from Civil War, what was it, issue 7, where Captain America's shield is up and Iron Man's got the repulsor blast. They slow-mo shit out of it.
I was like, it paused for like 3 seconds, and
I felt like my life changed at that
moment. That's what I want to talk about. That's how you squeeze an iconic moment into a movie.
That was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? That was beautiful.
Dropping bombs in this.
Like when it went slow-mo, I was like, is that me? I was like, is my life?
Just drop one of Clue's bombs and that was so. That's how you put iconic moments into a movie.
No, but that was, dude, like, oh, that was so awesome, man. That was incredible,
man.
Yeah, that was incredible. Watching,
I'm still tripping over that damn airport scene. That airport scene was everything to give me life. Everything that I needed to get life and more. Like, I walked out that theater like a motherfucking little kid. Like, I was just happy as a kid on Christmas Day.
You know what's crazy about this movie? Like, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, whatever, and I still see previews for trailers. You know what I do? I still click on it like I've never seen the movie.
No, I want to see this like 2 more times.
I'm down to go again.
How much this movie is just great. Like, I still want to see the trailer. I already saw the damn movie, but what a movie.
Yeah, like Twitter shows like a little 10-second clip, and it's always the one where Hawkeye shoots a Black Panther and he catches it. It just explodes in his face.
That's exactly what I see.
He just drops the arrows.
Every time I click on it and watch it a couple times, man.
So awesome.
It's yes, you have. It really does, man.
I always remember when Hawkeye shoots Ant-Man and he's like, yeah, whatever you say, arrow guy. And then
and let's not forget another iconic moment when Ant-Man is on the arrow. That's
one of the biggest.
Another one.
It wasn't forced into the movie.
It was perfectly free flowing.
And one of the funniest parts of that whole scene with him on the arrow was when he goes up inside the armor and Tony's like, "Who's care. And he's like, your conscience.
Yeah, I mean,
he's just ripping shit out.
Yeah, and then Tony, what is it, like that gas?
The fire suppression jet.
No, I thought the dynamic between Winter Soldier and Falcon was great too.
Oh yeah,
because they go between like wanting to wreck each other and then becoming like BFFs, just like Captain America and Bucky. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. I thought that was dope because they kept joking around the whole time.
They sure did.
When they told them to move the C4, when that what is the Beetle?
No, and then when they got webbed up by Spider-Man and they're like,
just like,
dude, shut up. He's like, I hate you so much right now. This movie was great, man.
Like the chemistry with Eric was just incredible. Incredible.
And what's crazy about this movie, there was so much thing jammed in it, but it was perfect.
Yeah.
You can't say
actually.
That
I don't feel like there was a lot. I don't feel like there was a lot jammed in it. And then this versus Batman and Superman. I don't think that there was as much jammed into this movie.
Story-wise, correct. But there was
a lot of characters,
which was great.
But they also introduced all the all the characters that needed to be introduced were introduced very efficiently and very quickly, and it just moved along in the storyline.
It's like every piece of the puzzle was falling into place.
Yep, it wasn't a little
but
email
again,
video.
You gotta think about the fact this was Avengers 3 pretty much. It's not their first go around. Hey, DC Comics, this was their first go around. It's gonna get better.
They're trying to do it the reverse way though, and it's not. It didn't work. I don't want to say it's not working because we only got one movie out that formula. I'll wait and see what Justice League gives me.
Wonder Woman 2.
And a lot of people are like, I'm hating on the movie. I'm not hating on the movie because I tend to read Marvel more. I'm just hating because they didn't really flesh out that movie like they should have.
Yeah.
And a Wonder Woman a wrap shooting already, right?
Yeah, correct. So a couple days, I think yesterday. But they wrapped it up.
So. They give us a Wonder Woman movie after this one, when they should have given us the Wonder Woman movie before Batman vs.
I agree. They should have just followed Marvel's.
They should have had all the major characters in DC have their movies, just like they had Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, all of them had, and Cap had all of their movies before they formed the Avengers.
But
they should have had. They've had Batman. They've had Superman. They should have, like you said, had Wonder Woman come out, and then probably Aquaman, and then bring in the rest of these motherfuckers in the Avengers, they could have, or in Justice League.
They call them the Trinity for a reason. So maybe they could have given us Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, and then the Justice League movie could have been them interacting with everybody else. It
would have been nice if Wonder Woman was maybe just kind of either an extra scene or hinted at or whatever in the movie, but just kept it Batman vs. Superman.
Yeah.
And then the others would have been flushed out eventually.
I don't know. I think Wonder Woman kind of made the movie a little bit better, though.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that she didn't. I'm just...
they needed more than one pair of fists to fight Doomsday, and Batman wasn't doing it.
Well, wasn't he hiding behind a rock somewhere? He's checking his Twitter.
He's got his gun. They attack and he hides.
Yeah. You know what, though?
LOL, somebody help.
I've been watching YouTube videos, and it's like... A lot of people saying, and I agree, they just don't know what to do with Superman. They can't decide on what Superman they want to give us. If you think about it, if you really think about BVS, he was like kind of tossed aside, kind of in a way. You know what I'm saying? If they didn't feel like they took Superman serious in that movie, you know. But I feel like that's another podcast.
That definitely could be.
No, we don't want to talk about garbage anymore. So maybe
I didn't even go there.
That's like a missile, dog. That's not even gunshots.
Ellie's heart.
I'm sorry, man. There's just something about that movie that I hate it.
He's just off that Civil War.
I know. The passion that you hate it with.
He smoked that Civil War
I'm not gonna give out no Twitter information. I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate from the DC fanboys. I'm gonna get the hate, so I'm just gonna stay in the shadows.
I got
hate
now. Just for saying that, which is a fact. Civil War is 10 times better than BVS. You know what I'm saying?
Hands down.
I'm not even trying to hate on BVS. It's just the fact that, like, if they would have fleshed out the story better, it would have been a better movie.
Very true.
And they had a lot of time to do it.
A lot of time.
Yes.
Stupid amount of time to do it.
Yeah, supposedly I was reading Zack Snyder's final cut was supposed to be 4 hours.
4 hours.
And it was rumored it was supposed to be 2 parts. And I think WB, the studio, is what messed that movie up realistically. But we won't get into the politics of it.
Again, I from the other podcast, and not to go into it, but I really urge you guys to watch that the Death of Superman Lives
with the Nicolas Cage, correct?
Just watch that documentary. It's so interesting. I don't have it. I've just been watching.
I just don't want to pay for it.
Oh, no. Definitely do not pay for it.
No, because at one point the only way is like if you buy the Blu-ray.
No, I saw it on the last couple of times. I forget what channel. It was definitely cable, but it was like it was like Showtime or Cinemax.
It had to be like a channel that plays old movies. Like
yeah,
but
AMC.
No, AMC be doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
No. I want to say it was one of the premium channels, but it was
Cinemax plays older movies too, though.
Yeah, but the thing is it's not the actual movie. It's the documentary of the making of that process, and it's really interesting because it really shows you how hard it is to create,
get their vision.
Yeah, to create a vision, but also to take a character that can be interpreted so many different ways. I think that's what DC is struggling with is to find. Yeah, I mean, shit. Batman's been done so many different ways. A lot of it fucked up, but I mean, they've had at least like 3. Yeah, I know.
No, I want to see it.
Pick your worst one.
Time to chill.
But they've legitimately done it 3 good ways between Christian Bale. I thought Ben Affleck did a good job.
I was actually quite impressed.
He was one of the better parts of the movie.
And then there's the Michael Keaton.
That's my bad.
Yeah,
that's my bad.
But so there's really, it's a couple different ways to do it. Maybe they really haven't figured out. I like this Superman. I think they did a
if it's on, I can watch it, but it's just
he just needs better material, man. That's my opinion. It's like Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. He just needed better material.
True. All right, guys. Well, on that note, we're going to end it here for this evening. I want to thank all you guys for coming through this week.
Thanks for having us.
JP.
Yeah, great.
Thank you.
Great.
Appreciate it a lot. We want to ask you guys, please like and share and subscribe with friends, family, even niggas that you hate.
Facebook page coming soon.
Facebook page coming soon.
Might be tonight if I get home and.
Hey, there you go.
A couple more beers. That'll be an interesting page.
Again, you can go to our YouTube page, which is youtube.com/Trey and Johnny's comic book channel.
We should simplify that.
Yeah, we really should. We really should.
It's like S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
First there's S.H.I.E.L.D. and like, we're working on it.
Yeah.
They're working on it.
You can search us on SoundCloud at T&J's Comic Book Show because we couldn't put the whole name.
There you go. There you go.
We're the same name on iTunes and
we on iTunes, baby.
iTunes.
We made it.
And same name also on
Google Play.
Google Play.
Thank
yes.
you.
Thank
We
you.
on every platform.
We're on all the major platforms, guys.
certified.
We do appreciate all your comments. We hear the feedback from you guys. We see the listeners going up every week, so we really do appreciate it. Again, we appreciate all of our guests for coming through with us.
Thanks, man.
And for Trey and Johnny's Comic Book Show, I'm Trey. And
I'm Johnny.
we out this bitch.
Peace.
Later.